My first guest this week is Ray Smith. He's the CEO of Trycera Financial Incorporated. TRYF is their stock symbol. Ray, it's been a while since we've had you on the program.
Hey, Don, it's great to be here. Thank you.
Well, I'm glad to see you here. Why don't you bring us up to date what the company does?
We help consumers with their finances, put a personal budget together. We help them lay out their outgo and then match that up with their income. And then from there, we take payments that are missing off of their credit reports, such as their utilities and insurance and all those items that they pay every month. And we get that information verified through a third party, and we add that to their credit report. And then the third step is we look at their traditional credit that's there. And the Federal Trade Commission came out with a study that says 1 in 4 people have errors on their credit report. And so we verify to make sure that there's no errors hurting their FICO score. And we really try to put their financial and their personal money in order with their credit so that they can acquire loans.
Well, it's kind of interesting, as we've talked about this before, and I just want to kind of recap on this, because there are certain things that can appear on a credit report that do not. And if someone gets into trouble with a credit card or something, you can offset that by showing that they paid their cell phone bill every month or the utility bills every month. And those are items that don't ordinarily show up on a credit report. How are you able to get credit for those?
Congress passed a law that requires lenders to utilize those payments, but there's never been a system created to show the lenders the consumer's payment history. So we take that information and we send it off to a third party that verifies it, because the utility companies, they don't report. So you have to do it on your own, but that's what we do for you on your behalf. We get that information, those payments verified, and then we report it to the National Credit Reporting Association, and then it shows up on your credit report.
That's something I know you folks have just launched here very recently, which is fascinating. I mean, you know, almost everyone at some point in time buys a car, and almost everyone finances that car. And from a car dealer's perspective, there's probably nothing more frustrating than to, bring the customer in, go on the test drive, fill out all the paperwork, get to a point where we all agree on the price, fill out the credit app, and the credit app is denied. And the car dealer's not happy, the customer's not happy, probably leaves the room or the dealership angry, never to return. You've started something that can help alleviate that. Tell us about that.
Right, like you say, everyone's disappointed, everyone's frustrated, and the problem is the customer doesn't walk away angry, he walks away frustrated, lost, they don't know what to do. Where our program can help them qualify. We'll go through their credit report, find out what's missing, find out if there's errors, what can be removed, and then put a budget together so that they can qualify. What we've done is we put together a kiosk, which is a live agent kiosk, the very first ever, similar to a kiosk at an airport with a touch screen where you go to check in. Well, our kiosk at the dealership has 2 screens, one at the top and one at the bottom. And the monitor at the top is where our agent appears. So the customer that got turned down walks over to the kiosk, they pick up the handset, and our agent appears. And now they're talking to a credit consultant right there at the dealership.
Wow.
We enroll them into our program, help them get qualified for that car. They have hope. They stay there with that dealership because they're thankful, because that dealership really led them in the right direction. Now they qualify for the car, they're happy, the salesman is happy, the car dealership's happy, and it's a good
Well, that's
situation.
really key. I mean, when we talk about, getting these kiosks into the showrooms of auto dealers, when you are able to show the dealer that this is a customer you're going to lose, he or she's probably never going to come back. You keep them in the showroom, direct them to the kiosk, problem hopefully gets solved. It's saving a customer, and all that work that the salesperson put into getting that person into that car now becomes fruitful as opposed to lost effort.
That's exactly right. And then what happens is once that customer gets that car, they tell their friends,
Right.
You need to go back to this dealership because they'll help you if you have challenges. And so it's a way to capitalize on their marketing expense.
Now, I also understand you're doing something rather magnanimous. You're doing a lot of hiring of veterans, U.S. Military veterans, to be these live agents. You're training them, and I guess you're finding that these people who are coming back from the military are extraordinarily reliable as employees.
That's right. They're used to a set schedule. They're used to taking orders, and they want structure. And that's what we provide them. We provide them a set schedule when they can work. They're kind. They're trained to be people person, and it works out really well for us.
Now, how many auto dealers have you contacted or are working with or have reached out to with respect for the kiosk program?
We have one organization right now that has 150 car dealers that they want the kiosks in right now.
That's amazing. So the kiosk itself, how does that work? I mean, is there any cost to the car dealer, or is it something that the company bears the cost of and generates income from the credit reports? How does that work?
We put together this opportunity so that investors or sponsors can sponsor the kiosk. It costs $15,000 for the kiosk to put in the dealership. We take that burden away from the dealership so they don't have to front that cost. We have a sponsor that puts up the money, someone that wants to make a residual income, and then we give them a commission off of every sale that kiosk generates. So an investor gets rewarded, the dealership gets the kiosk in there, and then the customer is able to contact us and qualify for the cars.
If an accredited investor, which I'm sure is a requirement at this point, wants to know more about that program, can they get information at your website?
They can at Trycera.com, and there's information. They just put in their name and email address, and an email will be sent to them regarding the kiosk program sponsorship.
Once again, Trycera Financial, TRYF is their stock symbol. Ray, that's a tremendous story. Thanks for bringing it to us.
Thank you for allowing me to share with your viewers, Don.